I didn't notice. But here we are again, and we are absolutely, positively fucking live. My name is Jamar Jabari from VOC uh, Podcast. We're gonna talk about music because you know I'm a musician. And this is what I do, and I just want to give a quick ass shout out to Rudy's for being so nice that they fucking turned their music down the back so I don't get my thing demonetized. So ill.
Demonetized.
Yeah, right. I don't want those issues.
Pay us for the songs. Pay us.
Pay us for the songs.
How much do they want? 13 cents? Because that's what they're gonna give you. You get 8,000. You get 8,000 plays on your music. They're like, all right, 13 cents for you. But if you play one of our songs in the bar, you get fined 5,000. Or I don't know.
So I'm sitting here with Upton, and Upton is a hardcore hardcore punk guitar player.
Amongst other things, I guess.
Yes.
I guess in simply, I guess you would call it a crusty.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that term is not for normal people, so you can't use it.
Right.
It's just for us.
And he's in mad bands, okay? And they're all, we came up with the idea that maybe it's like a collective that they're all in, but the fact that you're in mad band show and he plays bass, right?
Guitar,
drums. The dude is a Renaissance guy. Shouts out to his bands, Nightmare Solution, Ritual Clearing, and Dictation, right?
There's a few others, but there's various like I would have to separate them into two categories: bands that are actually playing, and then bands that play maybe once a year,
Right.
And then other bands that are like projects where we record the music together and like all like have like a whole album's worth of stuff,
Right.
and I'll have some of my friends come and contribute, or they'll have a project and then I'll contribute to their project. You know what I mean? Like where someone just writes all the music and I'll say, hey, I'll fill the circle. That's what it's like a term that I've been using for a long time.
Right.
You know, because usually with some of my friends, sometimes they'll practice with like just a guitarist or drummer for like 5 years or something. I don't know. Like they'll just, and they don't have like a bass player. They don't have someone to like fill it in. So I'm like, hey, I'll just join your band, learn the songs.
Right.
And then also I'll do the same. And then we'll record these projects because sometimes I'll have an epiphany. I have a record collection, and just because you play music with a group of people doesn't mean that you can't record the music.
Right.
And still have it out there for people to listen to for their own enjoyment.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen or who's going to enjoy it later on. You'll enjoy it yourself.
Right.
But I would say 90% of the bands that I have in my record collection I haven't seen. But I have a lot of records and I've seen a lot of bands and I got it from them personally.
Nice.
Which is why we still press vinyl.
Yes.
For historic reasons. Also, we have the art, and we own our music, and only in this format do we own our music. Honestly, that's why we still press vinyl.
Right.
We don't, in some way, it's still available for everyone.
Yeah. And vinyl should never die. It's beautiful, honestly.
It is.
You know,
it is still technological. You know, if you wanted to get really primitive, you can go back to making your own instruments and playing in front of a group of people.
Right.
You know, I guess May 19th? What's the date when Connecticut's going to open back up for concerts and shows?
Oh, they're doing that now? I didn't even know.
Maybe. I don't know. I think they're going to lift all restrictions. COVID. It's been a while since people have been out and about.
When last time you did a show?
I wouldn't even be able to tell you, and I don't know if I could, consider it a show. I know I did a few before the pandemic.
Right.
A couple of shows in New Haven, a couple of shows in Hartford, featuring either one of my bands or usually I like to do a show when there's a band on tour.
Nice.
When I moved to New Haven, like 4 or 5 years ago, I promised that I'd only do like 3 or 4 shows a year max.
Wow.
Just to save my
sanity. You're a busy guy. You're a teacher.
Yeah, exactly. And then writing music, I don't think you'll understand. It takes a long time to actually write.
Yes.
Music. But it depends on the individuals in the band. Obviously, everyone's different. I happen to write a lot of music that's I would consider complete or partially complete. Like a whole album's worth of stuff where I'll just have a concept. I'm writing, 4 songs that sound like this, like a demo, or a whole album that sounds like this, in various related genres, like crust punk, hardcore punk, oi, or metal, death metal,
Nice.
and I'll write like stuff like, and that's how I entertain myself and stay sane.
With me, I have to go
Otherwise-
through some shit. I gotta go through some shit.
Yeah,
That's the only way I can write something that's really good.
yeah, I feel it too. Yeah, when I'm in a good mood and things are going well, I can't write any music. But I've actually, at this point, I have so much backlogged music that I can't. I have to
Gotta go through.
not write anything right now. Just relax and enjoy
Nice.
doing other things.
And so you toured 34 different states. So that's
Around
about
that, yeah,
a
like,
third
I'd
of
say
the
about-
country.
Yeah, and like the U.S., like through some of the bands, especially the band Oil Tanker that I played in with some good friends when I moved to Hartford. The funny thing about that band is we're definitely motivated in ways that people I don't think could understand.
Nice.
We all used to live in different towns at one point in time, and then we all moved to Hartford.
Wow.
Like Connecticut is small. It is, but and everyone just drives everywhere. But that level of like, hey, we're all gonna move here because this is where we're gonna make like a scene for ourselves.
Right.
We're gonna move to Hartford, Connecticut, out of all places, and then we're gonna, live here, party here, have punk shows, and then through other various connections, we had bands from Sweden.
Wow. In Hartford?
Yeah, in Hartford, it was a punk house there called the Whitney House. A lot of people knew each other from that house, and we're still living all the traumas from it. Of course, it was like back then. We were young, partying, and then a lot of bands came through. But then again, we would think about how that's everywhere. And you kind of grow from it because you have to deal with, international people. People coming in from other countries. And you have to, food, provide. It's like DIY.
Right.
I'm glad that it's over though.
Yeah, word.
And that we survived in some capacity. Some of us, all of us.
Right.
But everyone just tries to be the best version of themselves they can be nowadays. So.
That's totally fucking dope. The fact that you guys, so we're switching mics right now. That's dope. I just realized that we can switch mics. So
that's cool. I thought there was only one mic.
Yeah, so that's the joke I was gonna get to. There's only one mic, but it was using this mic, which is another strong ass.
Oh
mic.
yes.
So now you're
right.
gonna see the difference between this mic and that mic when you hear this.
Wow.
It literally went from here to here. I was like,
you just blew my mind. Every cell phone and every device is a microphone.
Yes, the CIA listens to us, but I digress.
The ATM, I think, has a microphone.
I hope not.
Or a speaker.
I hope not.
All right, anyway, sorry.
No, that's fine. So okay, so like I think that it's dope as fuck. The fact that you guys literally was like, my band, we are all in different towns as well too. New Haven, fucking where the hell does that bass player live? Norwalk, fuck Norwalk, horrible place. I hate going there. And then the studios in Stanford, and we have somebody in Bridgeport. We're lucky that it's like a straight line towards Stanford. I would freak the fuck out if it was like people that are like literally like up there and like bum the fuck Connecticut and then down east and then up northwest or some shit like that, because that would be so insane. So we're fortunate for that, and we are focusing on Stanford because Stanford is where our label is at. We have our own label.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So we're lucky for that. And well, reason why is because like the labels, they like, you just told me that they made a website from one of your bands.
There's a few things. I'm not.
That was getting money off of it.
Yeah, that was from before, like with the Southern Lord thing with Oil Tanker. We had some agreement. We didn't really know what we were talking about.
Right.
They made like CDs for us or whatever, and they're like putting out crust bands
Mhm.
for whatever reason. They were like getting interested in like crust bands.
Right.
And the only reason why we I don't know how it happened. This is my story of how it all got put together. I had this idea that we would actually make a CD because one of our band members was really against CDs, and we all supported that idea. But at the same time, I was like, let's make a CD for this reason,
Right.
because we had already sold out mostly of this LP, the Shadows of Greed. And my idea was like the 7-inch. We had a 7-inch record also.
Okay.
Wow. And the 7-inch record, I think, there weren't too many copies left. So I was like, why don't we just do a CD that's the LP and the 7-inch onto one CD,
Right.
and somebody, I don't know, somebody contacted the bass player and was like, "Oh, this label wants to do like a CD of our music," and I was like, "Oh wow!" I was like, "Why don't we do this? The LP and the 7-inch in one."
Right.
And they did that, and they gave us like, they're like, "All right, we'll just manufacture and make 300 CDs for you for free."
Wow.
That's. I was like, okay, and then we just took it.
Right.
And we took it with us on tour. With No Tomorrow, we went on tour for like 2 weeks from Connecticut out to Minneapolis, down to Florida, and back out. That was like one of the best tours. I loved all the members of No Tomorrow. Like, it was one of the best tours we've been on. They're from down south. Like, after the tour, like, as far as language goes, we were like them. They're not trying to talk like us.
That's
New
absolutely
Englanders,
dope.
we sound all, you know. My friend Eric said the New England, like the Connecticut accents, we sound whiny. Some people, not everybody.
Yo,
Some of us sound whiny. But anyway,
yo, tell me why. So when you say that, I think that's so true because if I don't know if you noticed, but like, and no offense to white girls, I'm dating a white girl. Don't even try anything. But white women accents in Connecticut, don't it kind of sound like they're tired when they explain things? It's amazing though. Like,
yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess we could talk about a lot of different accents. It's
Right.
When you travel the U.S., you notice things. Everyone has an accent, first of all.
Yes,
no matter
we do.
what, no matter
Yep.
where you are, and yeah, it's more than just a Connecticut accent. Because I don't even think it really exists. It depends on like what I feel like. People in Waterbury have it. Like, no
Yeah.
matter who you are, like the way they say Waterbury.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you live in Waterbury for life, you just have a Waterbury accent. Like,
Yeah.
and I guess yeah, but yeah, you're right about the Connecticut accent.
Somebody just said, "Fuck you, man." I hope
Everything sounds
everything's
like a
okay.
question at the end sometimes. I don't like.
Yes.
Feels like I don't know. I talk like that sometimes. Maybe.
I think that's like the way that people that try to like have a white collar career, like they talk like that. It's kind of like, how do I make this simple? So this is what we do now. This is our function. Understand? Like when they're doing like a seminar or some shit. You know, like it's interesting. And I'm just sitting there like, why do they talk like that? Because I spoke to you behind the seminar before you even started, and you were talking to me like a regular person. But I guess that they do
Every
that.
person speaks 5 languages.
Yes.
I think I like to study language and whatnot, and not too much. Not have to take a break,
Right.
but I feel like there's a concept that I don't know if it's reached the U.S. yet, called pluriculturalism,
Mm-hmm.
where I believe that a person can adopt multiple different uh, cultures at once. Like, you can acculturate yourself into multiple different things at once, because that's the reality of how people have always lived.
Right.
Because you can't just fully own one thing, because life is a lot more complex than that.
Yes.
It's impossible.
I agree.
Uh, so when you get into like questions of identity, some people are too dogmatic, too rigid, and then
Right.
there's people like me where it's like, you guys can fight about it all you want. I'll just give you some details. My family's from Jamaica. They're Jamaican. Well, what does it mean to be Jamaican? You can break everything down into its
Right.
components. Well, some family that might have like Scottish heritage, or like Irish heritage, or whatever. And then you have some people that like my family have like Ashanti and Igbo. Like very specific details you could find out. This is before Ancestry.com. This is just stuff that you know.
That's amazing.
And then you have to dive into like the language.
Right.
Like, what makes the way that people in Jamaica speak the way that, like, why is it that way?
Right.
Where did the language come from?
Right.
But I don't know. It's just some things that I think about in general.
I would say that even with Caribbean people, I feel like the fact that they came up with their own dialect is fucking amazing. They came up with so many different dialects just to make sure that the colonizers don't know what they're saying. And now it's just straight up like just the dialect of the region that you're at, and you have to know that. If you don't know that, you're not gonna be able to learn that much. But what's great is they can speak perfect English as well too. They can break it down for you. I'm like, wow. We don't have that as African Americans
I know.
in the states. You know,
I know.
they try to give us this ebonics thing, but it's like we don't really all accept that yet. Maybe later on we'll accept ebonics, but I don't
Hmm.
think Black culture in America wants to have ebonics right now. We
Yeah, I
got
know.
slave, but ebonics, what the fuck is
Yeah, I
that?
know. It's. I mean, I'm sure we can talk for hours and days on various different topics, but
Yeah.
the whole language thing is interesting with like race and ethnicity
And what kind of
because
teacher are you?
I teach Spanish
Oh wow.
and I never thought that I would be teaching that because I originally studied biology, but I didn't really see a pathway to like being a biologist in Connecticut and
Yeah.
living my best life, or at
Okay.
least living something that I would agree on. 'Cause there's ethic. There's a lot of ethics involved in being involved in the sciences. That
Really?
yeah, I got vaccinated. I'm double vaccinated.
Me too.
You know, so uh, but you know, there's so many ethical people are very dogmatic. They're rigid.
Yes.
They don't. Everyone wants to be pure, but it's hard and impossible. Also,
It's yeah,
you
yeah. Especially
and
with
that's
everything
why
that goes into your food, what goes into your medicine, all types of things. You know.
I will eat a GMO. Like I have, and people are like, "Oh, I don't eat GMOs." It's like you have been, you just don't
You
know.
have been,
You just
yeah.
don't know what is GMO, what isn't.
This is why I
But
get so confused about people that are allergic to gluten. I had to learn that for myself. I'm just like, isn't that in every fucking thing? Like,
you
how
can,
the hell?
it is. I mean, but I don't know. I'm allergic to a bunch of things
Oh yeah,
because I'm doing like an allergy treatment right now. It's
nice. When do you find
COVID.
out?
Well, I've been in it for a while, but
Oh wow,
it's
so going on process.
trying something new.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's very abrasive, very intrusive. It's this allergy treatment where you basically inject yourself with the things that you're allergic to for months on end. So I'm on like month 5 right
Oh, see, I haven't
now. I
did it
went I
yet.
went nuclear with the whole thing.
Oh
Yeah,
really?
because I've been having really bad allergies for like 12 years, maybe more. So
Oh
it's just
crap,
like, all right,
yeah.
well, I might as well try it. I mean, obviously, I guess we can't do a podcast without talking about the pandemic a little bit.
Hey, right?
People are worried about getting stabbed with the 5G nanobots, but
Yes,
I,
they
you know
are.
what? Honestly,
They really are. They
at
really
this
are.
point, I'll put up a fight for about 2 or 3 weeks, but after that, I realize that it's physically impossible for every human being on Earth to get a vaccine for COVID.
Yes, it is, and I feel like, well, I don't want to dwell too much on the topic, but you already know my answer. I just feel like it's because of the systems that are involved that make it impossible. I feel like if they made it that way to prioritize, it'll be easier. But
I can't even get mad at anti-vaxxers now. I just can't because I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to be
oh, you're
angry,
talking about
upset.
the fact that people are like, no, this shit is conspiracy. That's what you're talking
But
about,
like
right?
that's I don't have the energy anymore. It's like I'm not gonna convince them. I don't think I could
Right,
if it's not already
right.
if they're not here already.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the only thing you could do is like if your friends and family members say, hey, if there's another reason, like an economical reason, like I'll give you a ride, or
Uh huh.
I'll set it up for you on the internet or whatever.
Uh huh.
That's more productive, I guess. I can't.
Yeah.
I like arguing with people on the internet,
You like arguing with them?
but
Yeah. I get in
not
trouble a
anymore
lot,
because I
so I had
realize
to
that
stop.
half of them are bots anyway. So you just argue with a robot or someone who's not really not like arguing, but like getting to the truth, like getting to the deep. I'm not trying to. There's no way you're going to convince a Trump supporter to not like Trump.
Yeah, yeah. There's no way.
Like, but you can't convince me to like Biden either.
Nah,
I don't
not
like
really.
you can't.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
People have
But
tried on my side of life. They have tried. I don't know if how hard they tried for you, but they have tried with me, and I was just like, uh, cry Bill.
not that this is a cop out or anything as far as politics go, but I can't. No, I don't think any politician is even capable themselves of seeing the reality. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't possibly know what it's like.
Right.
Uh, as far as numbers, and even my father, who's like, he's 80 years old.
Right.
Uh, he's been paying, or he hasn't necessarily been paying like uh, he, he wouldn't know what rent costs in Connecticut right now because he's not like looking for like what it is. So I
Mhm.
remember telling him how much my rent was, and when I moved to New Haven, he's like, "Wow, it costs so much." Because like when he was dealing with rents, it was back in like the 80s and 90s. But ever since then, it's just like working a factory, retired, this and that. He doesn't have to deal with it anymore. He doesn't necessarily need to like look up what rent prices are or anything. So I told him the numbers, and it's like, wow, he's used to numbers like 80s, 90s, and how immigrant families were able to support themselves even in the 80s
Right.
versus people who have like college degrees who could barely like I can't make up what it took me a long time to get to what my parents even were
Right.
at my age,
Right.
and they came in as immigrants in like the 80s and whatnot. Even they came in as quote unquote what people would consider the right way, like immigration
Yeah.
papers, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's messed up that like society is just they only respect people that they quote unquote say come in the right way, but it doesn't matter which way you come in.
No.